building crazy stuff, and it's just madness right now. I think people need to take a step back.
Choo choo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 9 of the Geek Cast. I am Bobby, the Geek Guru, and I am joined once again with my buddy from the UK, Toby. How are you doing today, Toby?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Bobby.
Toby, we got 2 guests this week. I'm pretty excited about it.
My 2 favorite people.
Well, listen.
Thank you.
Here he goes. Listen, don't start the brown nosing before we even start the podcast, all right? We have Julius, our buddy from Image and Form, and
Nice to be back.
It's nice to have you back. I'm glad that our schedules were able to get you back. And what's nice is this is Julius, the non-PR, the non-working Image and Form. This is Julius, the geek.
Private Julius, the real one.
Yes, the Julius is just like us all, that geeks out and all that stuff and loves video games. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. As well, we have my buddy Miguel, who you guys have all seen on some episodes of the Geek Guru. What is up, Miguel? How are you?
All is well, thank you.
Very good, very good. So we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to start this episode like we do every episode with the Geek Outs. We're going to kick it to Miguel first this week. Miguel, what are you geeking out about this week?
I am geeking out of the new episodes of The Big Bang Theory. I love The Big Bang Theory. I'm a fan. So I can't wait till it comes out on Monday.
Oh, it starts Monday. Okay.
Yes, it starts Monday.
We know you. Listen, we know you're a big fan of The Big Bang Theory. If everybody remembers the last episode when you were screaming Howard.
Howard. Wow, that was awesome.
That was good.
And I'm also geeking out with about the Pokemon tournament. The game, they're saying that's coming out on the Wii U, but there's a beta version coming out this winter. So I am excited about that. I hope I'm one of the ones chosen to play it. Yes, I'm a Pokemon fan.
I'm wondering how they're going to do that, because previously with demos and stuff, it always went through Club Nintendo, and I'm wondering how they're going to do that with these, since there is no more Club Nintendo. It's going to be interesting to see how they distribute those demo codes and all.
Well, didn't, like, when Codename Steam came out, you could get early access through your games shops? Like, they'd have little cards with demo keys on them.
I think I remember that, actually.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
It could be something like
that. Julius, what are you geeking out about this week?
Comics, actually. I've been rereading some of those classics like Watchmen and The Killing Joke and stuff like that.
Killing Joke is amazing. I love The Killing Joke. It is.
And I'm really excited about you. You told me about this a few weeks ago. There are coming new movies based on The Killing Joke and other classic series.
Yes,
so that's what I'm geeking out about.
They got Mark Hamill to come back and reprise the Joker. So he's going to be the voice of the Joker, and they're doing it. And I hope they do it like true to form. I hope they don't like cut anything out, because that story and everything it's raw, but it's like so awesome. Like,
it is.
If you cut things out of that story, it just takes the effect of everything away. So I hope they don't. I hope they stick to it. If you watch the Dark Knight Returns movie, they stuck to pretty much dead on with that to the comic book. So I think they will. Now, have you played Arkham Knight?
Yeah, I have, and it's a great game. It's amazing.
Okay, so I'm just gonna throw this out there. There's some spoiler stuff. If you don't want to hear it, Toby, just take your headset off, and I'll just go like this.
No, I don't mind. I'm probably not going to end up playing it.
There is a section in it that's from The Killing Joke, and that when that scene hits, like the whole Barbara Gordon scene and stuff, when that scene hits, I was like blown out of the water, because you see Batman in the room, and you see Barbara Gordon walk around, and at first I'm like, why is she walking around? Oracle is in a wheelchair. And then all of a sudden, like, as you're trying to touch or do things, you have no functionality at all. And that's when, all of a sudden, when you hear the doorbell ring, all of a sudden it hits me, and I'm like, my wife was sitting with me, and I looked at her and I go, oh my God, this is from The Killing Joke. And she's like, what's that? Because she don't read comics. And I'm like, just watch. And when that whole scene unfolds, it was like, wow. Like, to see it live is just crazy. It's just nuts. So I'm a huge Batman and Killing Joke fan. I love the Joker. So, Toby, what are you geeking out about this week?
Well, I haven't really got anything new that I'm geeking out about at the moment. There's nothing really on the horizon that I'm like excited by, which is unfortunate. But I am entirely wrapped up in Mario Maker at the moment. So I guess I'm geeking out about making levels in Mario Maker. So even when I'm not playing it, I've got my pad with me, and like I'm sitting down drawing out level designs on my pad that I can then put in the game later.
Well, we're going to save all that talk because that's what our whole episode is about.
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately, guys, Julius is having internet troubles. He's not able to continue on with us, so we're going to reschedule him for a couple of weeks, and he'll be back in a couple of weeks. It's going to take a couple of weeks to fix his internet, basically. No, he's going to get his internet sorted out. It actually just went down completely on him, and so we're going to bring him back in a couple weeks, and then we'll have him on for another episode and all that stuff. So we're going to continue on with Miguel, Toby, and myself, and so hopefully you guys are happy with that. If not, I don't know what to tell you. So what I was talking about was this website I found. It's going to free me of Amiibo, so I don't have to worry about collecting Amiibo no more. It's called First, spelled out, for the number, figures.com. They have full-scale statues. They're a little bit pricey, but they range from like $250 up to, I think we saw them, $600, $700, Toby. But the advantage is that you can. I look at it like if I stop buying Amiibo and I put that money aside, I'll have the money to buy these things. They do payment plans, so I can do payments as well. But I'm really hyped about it. Like the one that caught my eye was Meta Knight, but the one that made me go, okay, I need to get involved in this was Cat Mario that's coming out. I was saying to Toby that there's a Tanuki Mario and then he told me that they sell them on the UK store. But the cool thing is there's an exclusive that you can only buy through that website that comes with a question block with a leaf. So
and some of the exclusives have got little LEDs in them, I think.
Yes.
That light up.
Yes, absolutely. So without a doubt, I'm excited about it because, like I said, it kind of frees me of the slave to Amiibos, for lack of a better term, and I can kind of I'll put shelves up here. I'll pull a couple of my shelves from downstairs with my Batman statues because I was going to change those shelves out anyway. I'll bring a couple up here that are lit up and put them up here, and I think I'd be much more happier collecting those because the nice thing, and I was saying to Toby, the nice thing about them is if you take them they don't decrease in value. Not that I planned on ever selling my Amiibo, but you never know what happens where maybe you got to get rid of them. And if I ever decide to get rid of my statues, they hold their value even though they're out of the box. They increase in value even though they're out of the box. Where Amiibo figures, the minute they're out of the box, it's a toy. They lose value completely, and it just continues on down the line. So that is what it is. But moving along, we are going to jump into what I'm playing. So this time we're going to kick it over to Toby. I think I know what you're playing, but is there anything different that you're playing?
All right, so obviously I'm playing Mario Maker non-stop,
Yes.
But last night I got to try out the new GTA Online free mode events. Now what they are...
Yeah, what is that?
Basically, normally when you're playing online, if you want to do a mission or some sort of like deathmatch or a race, you have to exit the free mode world, and then you go into a little lobby, and then you do the event, and then you get kicked back out into the free mode world. But these free mode events, they basically happen naturally, like every 12 minutes in the free mode world. And when you're in free mode, you can have like up to 30 different people in the city at a time. So you'll get a little notification that pops up on your phone, and it'll say, in 2 minutes, this specific free mode event is going to start. If you want to join, press right, and then that's basically like you're locked in to do this free mode event. So, and they sort of range, like they're quite different. I mean, we got to try out about 5 of them, and one of them that was pretty cool is randomly selected from everyone that's involved in this event. One person becomes a beast, and basically they're like a person that looks like a werewolf, and they're in this specific outfit. And when they become the beast, they disappear from the radar. And what they've got to do is they've got to survive for like 10 minutes or something. It might be 20 minutes. And meanwhile, they've got to get to these checkpoints on the map, and they're like randomly selected. And everyone else on the map has got to try and hunt them down. And when you get spotted, briefly, like you pop up on the map, like so people can see you for a brief amount of time. So every checkpoint you go to, that happens. So it becomes like as the time goes on, the more checkpoints you get, the more people know where you are. So you're on the run, which is really exciting. I mean, I didn't get to play as the beast, but everyone is sort of working together to track this person down.
That's awesome.
So, and there's other events where like there'll be a briefcase somewhere on the map, and you've got to find it, and then you've got to hold it for the most amount of time. Or there's one where it's like King of the Castle, where you've got to go to a specific spot and defend it. And if you die, then somebody else can take it, and then you get points for every second that you're there. So it's like kind of like an interesting new dynamic to GTA Online. It's not revolutionary. It's not going to change it up. I think we'll probably get bored of it quite soon. But as like a distraction, I think it's pretty cool. Plus, there's a new video editor on it, but I haven't got to try that out yet.
That is awesome. Like that whole mode just sounds pretty intense. Like it just sounds like a fun little thing. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, there's this crazy one where you had to steal as many cars as you can in like 5 minutes. So wow. you've got to try and you get 2 minutes, so you can try and get to like somewhere that's quite densely populated. And then when the time starts, you've got 5 minutes to basically get in and out of as many cars as possible. But obviously, when you start stealing cars, you get cops after you, and that can slow you down. So yeah, that was quite hectic, that one.
Miguel, what have you been playing this week?
Aside from Super Mario Maker, I've been getting back to Shovel Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I've been playing the new chapter of Destiny, the Taken King. And I have to tell you, the revamp is amazing. Before, you have to get the armor to level up, to help you level up. Now it's like your battles, your missions, your every little thing that you do will help you raise up your levels.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, it should have been like that in the beginning. But not only that, the ghost that's with you, now you can buy, you can level up the ghosts as well and buy new ones to help you become more powerful, your character.
Oh, that's nice.
So, and then the new subclass is just awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about time we have a third subclass for each character, but I'm loving it so far.
That's cool. That's cool. Myself, I've been playing, obviously, Mario Maker, and then Shovel Knight. I downloaded the Plague Knight DLC.
Now, is that free for everyone?
That's free. If you bought Shovel Knight, it's free.
What if I haven't bought Shovel Knight?
Then it's not.
You have to pay for it.
So what I mean
is in order to get what it is you buy Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
And then you need to, in order to get the Plague Knight, you need to update Shovel Knight.
But it's free once you buy Shovel Knight.
Once you buy Shovel Knight, it's free.
So it's basically free DLC. It's not paid.
Yes, it's free DLC because I already own, like I owned it on the Wii U and the 3DS. The 3DS I updated and it downloaded it. You go into the eShop, you click update, it comes on, downloads. When I came home and I checked my Wii U, it was already downloaded, ready to go. So,
I just wanted to make sure because the way I read it when it was online, it sounded like it was for people that had adopted it early.
No.
Like it wasn't very clear. So.
No, it's free. I think it's on the Nintendo. I don't know that it went free or I don't think it was released yet for any other thing other than Nintendo right now. So that could be potentially what, and I could be wrong. But I didn't buy it on PS4 or anything like that, so I'm not 100% sure. I didn't look into that, but I don't believe it was released yet for those other outlets. I think it just went to Nintendo first.
Do you have to beat?
Good.
Sorry. Do you have to beat the game in order to play the Plague Knight?
I'm gonna say no, but because I beat it, I don't know. I don't believe you do, because what it does is it tells you to start a new character. So when you go into Shovel Knight, it has like 9 different save files that you can go into. It just tells you to start a new save file in order to do it. But beating the game, I think, adds to it. Just because you kind of get a feel for what's going on. It's just cool. It's cool because it's a totally different game. Same levels, but you got a different character, which plays the game different, plays the levels different, but it's like when you go into the town, they kick you out because you're a villain, and they're like, you're not allowed in here. So it's just cool. Like it's really, really well done. I'm enjoying it.
Who is Plague Knight? Is Plague Knight actually in the main story as well?
Yes. In Shovel Knight, Plague Knight is a villain. You have to beat you have to beat him in order to beat the game. Like he's the boss of a level. He's a chemist. So
what happened? So is it a completely new sort of story?
Yes.
Right. Because I was going to say, if you was just playing the same levels, you might end up meeting another Plague Knight.
No, you're Plague Knight, and you're playing the same levels, and you're fighting the bosses that you fight, but you're basically a traitor to them.
So what happens when you get to the Plague Knight level?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
He's further on in the game.
Right.
I don't know yet. It's just awesome. Seriously, it's a great game. And then there's little things that there's in the very first level that you go to, there's a cutout of Shovel Knight, and when you go to that cutout at Shovel Knight, the stone spins around.
It's
like on a wall, isn't it?
It's in the wall. Yeah. So as Plague Knight, you go to that, and then he contorts his body to fit in.
That's cool.
And then it spins around, and then you go in, and then it's awesome. It's just a good game. It's a little tricky because his movesets are different. And he doesn't play anything like Shovel Knight. So I'm still trying to learn that aspect of it, but so far I love it. It's a good game. Okay, so we're going to move into our main topic, which is Super Mario Maker. It seems like the game. This is definitely Nintendo's Game of the Year, no doubt about it. I don't know that it's overall Game of the Year, but I think it's got to be a contender in my mind because it's blowing up completely. I wonder if Nintendo should have pushed it a little bit later now that Star Fox got canceled. I don't know that Nintendo.
Delayed, not canceled.
Not canceled, delayed. Canceled for this year. Okay. It got delayed till 2016. So I think that now that Star Fox is off the grid for this holiday season, I wonder if Nintendo should have pushed that back a little bit. Because I think ultimately if they would have done things a little differently, if they would have not released Yoshi early with you guys, they could have put out Yoshi now and then pushed Mario Maker. But of course they didn't know this was going to happen. This was just a last-minute decision by Miyamoto. That said, though, we kind of wanted to go through some different things with Mario Maker, and we wanted to discuss it in its entirety. So let's talk about our first impressions. What are you guys liking, not liking, whatever? What's your thoughts on the game? And we'll start with let's start with Miguel.
I like the fact that you have to play different levels to earn certain items to add on to your game.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're building, I like that aspect because I feel like if they had everything available, eventually the game will get boring.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the fact that you can just manipulate the screen, the games, and like you practice run. Like last night, I spent like maybe 3-4 hours designing a game and trying to find little tricks. And I just like the little, it's just the little things that help you. I can't wait to release it and you guys try it out and then get frustrated and then write me a comment like you know.
Yeah.
I just love that. It's and I think the best thing for me about it is like it's endless. You have, I mean, it's up to your imagination. And then, you know, when I played online, playing different levels from other people, I
Mhm.
said, wow, this is good. I said, oh, I like this. I don't like this, you know. And
Yeah.
then you try to incorporate with your own.
Yeah.
It's just, for me overall, it's awesome. I like the fact that you start out with the classic level, and
Mhm.
then you move up. And
Yeah.
then as you play the game, as you progress, the others will become available eventually for you to work with.
Yeah. Um, Toby, how about you? Where are you at with this?
Well, I actually got a little bit frustrated unlocking stuff gradually. I mean, I get why they did it, and I understand that it's good to get people to try out what's there to begin with and learn how to use it gradually. But you know, when you come up with ideas of what you want to put in a level, and then you've got to wait to unlock it, that can be a bit frustrating. But what I love about it is how sort of snappy and quick making a level
Yes.
is. Like everything's so intuitive, like the menus and the way you use the gamepad to drag things around. And when you start learning like how to highlight stuff and copy and paste stuff, like you can make a level really quickly. And
Yeah.
like Miguel was saying, you can just play test it with the tap of a button. There's like no loading or anything.
Yeah.
It's so good, like how the design aspect of the game works.
Myself, and you know this, Toby. You got the game a day before me, and
Mhm.
I unlocked everything before you. And
Yeah.
but I was like, I'm not playing this game. Like, I'm not doing this nonsense. So I just went in and I unlocked everything. Not the first day because I didn't get the game till like 7 o'clock at night on Friday, but Saturday I had everything. And I just went through and just kept building and doing stuff to manipulate, not manipulate the time, but like just to advance everything. And I unlocked everything right away. Then I started building because I just felt like it was holding me back creative wise. Like I wasn't able to really get creative and loose with what I wanted to do. Because every time I would start building, I would think, oh man, I want to put this there, but I don't have it yet. And then I'd unlock the next set and I start building and I'm like, oh, I want this, but it's not here yet. And I said, you know what, forget this. I'm going to lock everything and then I'm going to start building. Um, it's got its pluses, it's got its minuses because you don't necessarily know how to use everything yet because you don't really truly mess with things. But I'm getting the gist of it now and I'm starting to go through. I think what's, I don't want to say frustrating, I want to say disheartening, is the fact that people are just, it's either a super easy level or a crazy hard level that's being made right now. And I think people are just so excited to like throw everything out there right now that they're just building crazy stuff. And it's just madness right now. I think people need to take a step back. So I think people need to just take a step back and remember why you fell in love with Mario. You fell in love with Mario because the levels were fun. They weren't hard. There was certain levels that were hard, but not every single thing is like a test of skills. Like it's okay to do levels that are test of skills, but not every level you make should be test of skills. Like I go into the NVC group and God bless them. I love them. I love them guys. They're great guys. But it's like every single level that's getting produced is harder and harder and harder. And it's like that's all well and good, but it's just who's playing those levels over and over again. You play it to beat it, and then you never touch it again. I want to make levels that people play, and then they go, "I like that level. I'm going to download that level, and I'm going to play that more." So that's what I try to go for. And when as I'm building, I keep that in mind, and I go, "What are aspects that made me fall in love with Mario?" First, secrets. Everybody loved finding new
Mhm.
like areas to go to, like warp pipes that would take you to a room filled with coins or with power ups and all that stuff. And so I try to do that. I try to make it not super easy, but give a few power ups here and there and such. The other thing I do is, and I was telling Toby this yesterday, before I upload a level, I let Toni play it. She's not the greatest skills when it comes to Mario. She's good. She's decent. She used to play Super Mario Bros. 3 all the time. She played Super Mario Bros. World all the time. So she does have some Mario skills. But I let her play it. And if she struggles, I pay attention to where she's struggling, where she's not. And then I look at it and I go, okay, should I fix that area? Or is it just that she's just lacking the skills to carry on? And because I want people of all skill types to be able to play my levels. I don't want just great players to be able to play my levels. You know, I want to make it to everybody does. But the one thing I've done is I've started a series of levels. And Toby started this yesterday as well. But I do a series, like I have a Pipe World I'm doing. So it's Pipe World 1-1, and then last night I made Pipe World 1-2, and it's going to be a continuation. And when I get to 4, that's it. That's the lock-in, and I'm not going to make any more. So that's what I'm looking for, you know, and that's what I look at when I play. But overall, I think that I love the game. I think the game's a lot of fun, and so that's where I'm at with it. So
it's really addicting though, because I find that like lately I've been playing it every day, sometimes twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, and every time when I'm done, I've got to charge my gamepad to full because the battery's dead on it. So, but I'm also finding that the more I play it, the more I find irritating about the game. And this is mainly to do with the online aspect of it. Finding really good levels is increasingly more difficult because just the other day they announced there's 1 million levels made already in a week. And I'd say probably 800,000 of those are rubbish, I reckon. Like,
I agree.
And that's what I was saying, where people need to take a step back.
Exactly.
And I think that, honestly, in a couple months or a month's time, all the
hype.
Well, the hype will diminish.
Yes.
But you'll see the people that like really don't care about the game disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll have the people that love Mario and really want to make good levels left. And that's what I think when the game is really going to get good, you know, as time goes on and we start getting really good levels. But I also think it depends on the tools, and we'll get into that. We're going to get into our DLC stuff, and I'm not want to get into that yet. But you know, I think that if they do DLC, I think they can add.
I think
to make it fun.
What would be good is, you know, like they gave away the book that came with it.
Yes.
And in that book, they had some tips about level design.
Yes.
But I think what would be brilliant is if they had a section of the game that taught you basic Mario level design. What makes a good Mario level?
Yes.
I've seen articles online about like people giving their tips about how to make a good level, how to balance it right,
yes,
how to put good secrets in, and how to like ramp up the difficulty as the level goes on.
Yes.
And I think that sort of thing would be really useful for people to like just. Even if it's just like a video you can watch on like what makes a good level.
Well, you gave me that article yesterday, and that's when I was saying to you, like, number 6, Toby, read number 6. And because Toby, I kept saying this to Toby, and it was, his levels are fun. His levels were, I really liked the level you did yesterday. I think you really turned it around, and now you're doing the proper level building now. But originally, it was, what the article basically said was, or what the tip basically was Toby's. I'm going to use, just in comparison, I'm going to use Toby because this is the way it makes it easier. So Toby's building a level, and as Toby's building and he's play testing over and over and over again, and he's getting better and better and better, and he knows where things are coming. So now as time goes on, he starts to think, this really isn't a challenge. I need to add some stuff here. Now he's play testing, and he goes, oh, you know what? It's really not that hard. I'm breezing right through. I'm going to add some more stuff. By the time the level gets done, it's super hard, because it's super hard for me when I come in and play it, because I don't know where anything is, and I'm trying to explore, but I'm also trying to figure stuff out at the same time. Meanwhile, he's breezing right through the level, and he's even thinking at that point, like, it's really easy. So what they basically said was, when you build a level and you're done, scale back the difficulty 30%. Then when you scale the difficulty back 30%, scale it back another 30%. Then you'll have the ideal level as far as difficulty goes, which I felt like that was a great tip, because I think that's what we're up against right now. Like I said, you either have really super easy levels or really super hard levels right now. And I'm not for me, as a Mario player, I don't find it difficult to weave through enemies. What I find the difficulty is when I have to turbo jump as far as I can go, and you have one block, and that's it. And then, like, I went on a level the other day, and I played it for about 15 minutes, and I kept dying in the same spot because it basically was he had flames go. It was a lava level, and he had fireballs going up and down. And he had, not only did he have fireballs, he had one fireball, but he had a second fireball in the same section. So one fireball would shoot way up, and then the other one would go up, and then the other one would come down, and then it'd come down. So it was like a real small window to jump through. You had to turbo jump to get on it. Then you had to, like, just keep going, and you had a small block. Now the problem is you hit the small block, you need to keep going. You can't stop. But he's got fireballs going. So there was times I was making the jumps, but I'd have to stop because a fireball's coming up, and I would fall off the side. So it's like those levels are fine, but they're just, you're not going to get people to want to keep playing them over and over again. The difficulty level is so spiked up, it's not even funny. So, I mean, that is what it is. So, but if we're getting into this now, what are some levels that you guys have played that would be like the standouts for you? Like who, if you can recall names or the idea of a level like that really stood out to you guys in your gameplay so far?
Miguel?
I mean, when I was playing the games, I was just thinking about, like, everything has to make sense. Like you were saying, it has to be cohesive. Yeah. There was one stage that I liked that created was doors. You go in the door, you come out the other way, and then you have to figure out which way to come in and go, in and out, and then you eventually are outside, and then you make it to the end.
Yeah.
I like games like that where you have to think. There was one, I think, in the beginning. I think you may have played it. Is the power icon, where you have to hit the power icon, and then it goes on like this mechanism, and it goes throughout the whole game. And then you have to go to the end of the game in order to get it, and then to open the bricks to the coins, and you get to the exit. I mean, things like that I find ingenious.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of try to find different things like that. Those are the things that stand out for me, because sometimes it's not always about Mario running across trying to dodge. It's sometimes you have to figure out a way to access certain items to come to you, and those are the things that are memorable. And just to mention what you said earlier, I think, like, I agree. I think right now everyone has this Mario Maker fever. That it's just making something, and they feel the need to release it out into the world to play. But I like the fact that you can go back and edit your game, and you continue to evolve. Yeah. And right now, like with one of the games that I'm making, I see myself evolving with it. I have everything right now that I have available, but eventually it's going to, change or evolve within time.
Toby, how about you? Any standout levels for you?
Speaking of what Miguel was talking about, people wanting to upload things really quickly. The other day I was doing the 100 Mario challenge, and I came across this level that it literally, in the title, it had work in progress, and it was like half of a level. It was like a kernel of an idea, and somebody had uploaded it because they were excited about it. They wanted to show their friends what they were up to. But I ended up playing someone's half-finished level, and it was so easy, and it was like, why even upload that?
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, I came across this guy called Bunny, and he had a series of levels, two series of levels. One's called Buzzy Basin, and the other's called Torta Hills, and they're all in the Super Mario World art style. And like we were saying, he's gone like Buzzy Basin 1-1, and then 1-2, and then 1-3, and each level has got a very solid theme. It's got certain specific enemies, and it's got like certain type of backdrop, and then as you play them, they gradually get harder. The first level's like really easy, the fourth one's like really tricky, and then at the end he's got a boss for like each sort of set of levels. And just the way that he designed them, it really sort of inspired me to think about my levels more and go back and like delete some of my first levels because they're pretty rubbish. Like I was just learning how to do it. Now I'm thinking more about how to make decent level design that's not too hard. It's like fun with secrets, and there's a few tricky bits to the levels. And I'm gonna like try and string together like a real Mario game out of a combination of levels.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's this other guy I found called Lucas. I think he's actually from our group and our Facebook group, and his level is SMB3, Super Mario Bros. 3 -2 backgrounds. I don't know why he called it 2 backgrounds, but maybe he just couldn't come up with a good title. But his levels, I played a few of his, and they're very inspired by the actual Super Mario Bros. 3. And like he uses the art style, but the way he's designed the levels, like they actually feel like they could be from that game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he's managed to capture that feeling, but I reckon he's like a super fan of that particular game, and he's managed to put that into his own levels.
Yeah. Myself, the one that I'm playing a couple of levels quite a bit. I've gone into the Andre GX from Game Explain, and he did a couple of he's taking a lot of the 3D Marios and converting them into 2D. And I think that's awesome. Like, I think it's well thought out. He did a Donkey Kong level that, let me tell you what, it is insane. It is, he's actually has, obviously you can't do barrels, so he has a track set up with the gears going through. And then when you start off, you hit a question block, and it turns into Donkey Kong, and you start running. And then he has, like, rather than ladders, he has vines hanging down. Like, he just did it to perfection. It is amazing. So much fun. I like it a lot. I think he did a good job with that. He did the Babam stage. That's level, in theory, would be like 1-1 on Super Mario 64. Great level. He did a ghost house from the Super Mario 64. So I think he does some great stuff. Colin Carabin from the Warp Whistle podcast, he did a couple levels. His first level was super hard. It's basically what I'm saying, like where it's very hard to play. But it's doable. Like, but it is difficult. And a lot of thought went into it. He has a little troll section, which I told him about it, like that wasn't cool to do. Like, he has a section where you climb up and you see a door, and it's like, oh, that's where I got to go. But it's hard to get up there. And you finally get up there, and the door takes you to the door right next to it, and that's it. And I was like, really? I spent 10 minutes trying to get up to this door just to go from one door to the next, and that was it. I thought it would send me someplace else. No, he trolled the hell out of me. But then he did another one, an airship, that was awesome. Like you said, it kind of gives you the feel of being in Super Mario Bros. 3 with the airships and stuff. Like, he did well thought out, the right amount of difficulty to it. Like, when I was playing Toni, like I said, Toni loves Super Mario Bros. 3, and as I was playing, she was like, oh my god, I first thought you were actually playing Super Mario Bros. 3. I didn't realize that you were playing Mario Maker. And I'm like, yeah, Colin did this level. So he's doing great stuff. But I know he's a huge Super Mario Bros. 3 fan. I don't know if you watched the video he did a couple weeks ago or a week ago where he went through Super Mario Bros. 3. It took him like 26 minutes to beat the game and didn't die one time the entire time he played. Like, he is on point. Joshua from our Facebook group, he's done some good levels. Nice amount of difficulty, but some fun ones. Yeah, and I even featured it on Stump the Guru, the first episode that I did. And Peter. Pita is, as we know him. I know him from the MVC group, and he's in the Geek Guru group. He does some really good levels. Some hard levels, very hard levels, but he does some really good levels too. So, well thought out stuff that he does. And Toby, I think anybody that wants to check out some good levels, Toby does some really good thought out levels. So,
I've got that. What's it called? Slow motion swim level. I want to plug that one because nobody's playing that one. It's a really hard one, but it's kind of a puzzle level.
It's a horrible level.
So I try and put puzzles in some of my levels, and that one horrible. I'm particularly proud of that one.
It's not fun. Don't play it. I played it about 4 times. I wanted to shooting. It's not. Don't just play something else. I'm
gonna have to check it out.
Don't play it, Miguel. Trust me.
It just requires patience. That's all.
I have no patience. When I die, I want to go, and I'm like, you're like real slow going through. Okay, so DLC. It's a huge question. Obviously, everybody's always wondering, like, is this game going to get DLC or not as games are launched?
It totally could, though.
Let's start with that. Do you think this game should get DLC?
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
I agree 100%.
If Nintendo came to you and said you could add one thing to this game, what would be your one thing?
One thing, boy.
We're going to talk about other things, but
here
I know. But the problem is, if I go Toby and you read your whole list, it might be everything that me and Miguel have too. So we'll start with one thing. Just pick your one thing that you would add to this game.
Oh man! All right. So one thing that I think would be good is taller levels, because like you get to like a fortress level in Super Mario Bros. Wii U, and it's like you just go straight up. It's a much narrower level, but it's got a lot of height to it. So it's like instead of like sideways, they've just flipped it upright, and you're going up instead of across.
You took my idea.
So I think if they could do that, and if you could have the classic boss door from Super Mario World, like the red door, double door, that'd be so good.
Yeah. Is that your only one, Miguel?
No, don't. The other thing is, hopefully, where we could play a game where I could start with Super Mario Brothers, the original, and as I go through a door or something or a pipe, I'll enter the other Mario series.
That would be cool.
Like a multiple series in one game.
That would be cool.
It's like that's one thing I would suggest.
I disagree about that.
No, I think that would be cool. You know why I think that would be cool? Because I think that, like, okay, here's why I say it. Like, Super Mario Bros. 1, there's a certain set of move sets that you could do. So you could go through, and then you go through that door, and then, like, you could implement wall jumps and things like that at the later games, or spin jumps, or different things. So I think that it would be kind of cool to see what people could come up with as you go through the different things.
I think they should be kept to their own levels, because it'd be confusing. If you go through a door, and suddenly you've got all these new abilities, and the way Mario controls feels different, it's going to be jarring, and then you might get used to like wall jumping, and then you go through a door, and all of a sudden you can't wall jump anymore, and you think that you can because you've just been doing it like seconds before.
Well, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that's what makes it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just,
I like it. Listen,
keeps you sharp.
The master troll is going to sit here and tell me that you don't like that idea. Stop it. This would give you so many more ways to troll people.
I've got lots more stuff on this list.
So do I. Okay, so listen, my one thing. Well, first off, let's do this. I don't believe that this stuff needs to be paid DLC. So I know people are immediately thinking like, oh, I'm not paying extra DLC. Some of this stuff that I'm going to list today doesn't have to be paid DLC. It can be free. But the one thing that I think this game needs, without a shadow of a doubt, is checkpoints. Definitely. You need a midway checkpoint.
I agree with
for this game.
100%. I think I will add that.
Yeah, because that is the most frustrating thing to go through a level, and you get to the very end, and they have this huge climatic ending, and you die, and you got to go all the way back to the beginning. And I think it would make those really super hard levels a little bit more tolerable, because the second time you go through, you're not going all the way back to the beginning. So I think, and if they even wanted to say like, hey, listen, we didn't implement checkpoints until Super Mario World. I think that was the first time. There wasn't in Super Mario Bros. 3, right?
No, just in
World. Okay, so if they just said for World and New, here's your checkpoint, whatever it may be, if they were just like, hey, this is what we're going to do, then fine, I'm good with that. But I really feel like there should be checkpoints.
I think they would put it in the older art style, though. They've put all the other things, like was in the first Mario.
Not everything, though. That's the weird thing. Like, not everything's in there.
Definitely not everything, but a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
I would say, like, I have this feeling that Nintendo's probably going to make, like, amiibos, where it's just going to be, like, objects that you find in the Mario game. And then when you put it into the Mario Maker, it's going to add some sort of additional thing. And maybe, I have a feeling maybe purposely they'll probably have one of those checkpoint amiibos, and then when you include it in the game, it'll appear, and now you have something new. I think
now Toby's going to disagree with that.
No, yeah, I don't think they'll do that.
Because he don't want to have to open his amiibo, that's why.
No, I don't think they'll do that because I just don't think they'd make good amiibos. What
Toby, what's another thing that you would look at?
Well, I think that they should do like packs. You know, like in Mario Kart 8, you've got your level packs. You get, was it 4 or 8 levels, and then you get your 3 characters, and then your vehicle customization or whatever. So I think they should do like a desert themed pack where you get to make desert levels, because there was like desert levels in pretty much all the games.
Yep.
And like if you had like a snow themed pack, then you could get the penguin suit power up with that pack.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
like so you could theme like level packs, and included with the levels will be certain power ups or certain types of blocks. You know, they wouldn't have to be expensive. You know, it's not like they'd have to put a lot of work into it. It'd be a lot less work than making new Mario Kart tracks.
I think that's just a matter of time. I think they will do something like that, to be honest.
The thing that I
Like
want,
an ice flower as well.
yeah, the thing that I want is I want to be able to create worlds. I want to be able to, the same way you do the 100 Mario, and if you do easy, it's 8 levels. If you do hard, it's 16 levels you got to play. But give us that ability to be more creative, to basically create a storyline and go through and show people our true creativity. Because I think you're giving some creativity with the ability to make one level. But if you can really get to the people that want to tell a story almost throughout a series of levels, I would love if they were to say, like, you can put together 8 levels to create a world, per se. That would be awesome. I'd be all for that.
Definitely.
So I would love that. The one that I want so bad, and I don't know why it wasn't put in the game, is Super Mario Bros. 2. I think they need to do a Super Mario Bros. 2 skin. It doesn't necessarily have to be, and I know that Super Mario Bros. 2 is a little bit different because, like you were saying, Toby, there's levels that have height to it. Like, the minute you start, you come through that door and you fall down. But like, even if they were to just say, like, hey, we're gonna restrict you to just do side scrolling and that's it, I'd be fine with that. But there's so many enemies that they didn't implement. Shy Guys, and which really shocks me that Shy Guys aren't in anything at all. So they don't have Shy Guys. I would love to see more boss type characters. So if they would bring the Koopa Kids in, but also
that's on my list.
Yeah, so if they bring the Koopa Kids in, but also like if you went to Super Mario Bros. 2, like Mauser and Wart, those characters would be awesome to have in as well. So for me, that's what I'm looking for. I would love to have a Super Mario Bros. 2 where I have the ability to get those enemies as well. Like, I'd be all for it. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe there's something to do with that. 'Cause remember last week when we talked about that, and where Fuji was the one that had Nintendo make that game? Maybe there was something to do with the contracts. That because
it's possible.
What's something else you would like?
Should I just? I haven't got that many other things left. So I'll just read them off. So I want slopes on, like, sloped ramps and sloped pipes, because I think that could add some interesting, like, mechanics where you have to, like, not slide off of like a slope, like, especially with enemies walking down it.
That'd be cool.
Charging chucks from Super Mario World. I think that'd be a really cool enemy to have.
Again, more enemies. Like, have an enemy pack where you could buy a bunch of enemies and you go with it.
Poison mushrooms.
That would be great.
That'd be cool.
That would be really good. That would be a really good, like, troll thing. I mean, it's cool, like, having a Goomba pop up every now and then, but a poison mushroom, like,
that'd be good. What I would love, 2 things. I would love a mobile app where if I had an idea, I could do it, and then when I got home, I could upload that to my Wii U. I don't know necessarily how that would work. Maybe if they just did on the 3DS, like a little mobile editor or whatever that you could upload in if you wanted to. I don't see that happening. That's a real super long shot. But maybe with DNA now, maybe they can figure something out. But I would love like a mobile app where you can build level, or not that you can play the levels, but you could do some design work with the touch screen and stuff. That would be fun for me. And I know, Toby, you're against this one. I really, really, really want Mario Paint style creativity. Like, I would love to be able to do my own sprite work or music where you can, almost create your own levels per se.
Compose,
yeah, or you can compose the music like they did in Mario Paint, where in Mario Paint you could also draw with it. So you could draw like a character and then maybe just grab that character and throw it. So you could make an enemy per se.
I'm not against the music side of it, because you can do your music block thing anyway. Like, people have made.
But it's not the same. That's not the same.
Yeah, but so that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not against putting your own homemade chip tunes in it.
Yeah, you just don't want people changing the theme.
But people changing the art style and the characters and that, yeah. I don't think.
For me, I just think back to with Mario Paint, like drawing characters was just fun, and so if I could do like, even if you did a power up where like something came out of the block, like you hit it and something came out. I don't know. I just think that would be kind of cool to have. We'll see. I don't think that's ever going to happen either. But
I was going to say really quickly, one thing I would like to see is the rolling hills. You know how sometimes you see that rolling hill?
Yeah. Cool.
I would like to have something like that. And then there might be like a little gap you could go in, and then you could connect to another one.
Yeah,
like the background.
Cool. Yeah, like in New Super Mario Bros. The hidden areas where it looks like a solid wall, but when you go in it disappears. Yeah.
I think
the background.
I really think that Mario Paint, and I said this a couple weeks ago with Splatoon, I think it has the ability to become like a Minecraft in the terms of you don't have to charge people for all this stuff. You could have it just continue on. And then when NX comes out, boom.
It wouldn't
launch,
surprise me.
You just go with it.
I mean, look what they've been doing with Splatoon. Since Splatoon come out, so many weapons and level packs have just been constantly fed to us.
But since August, they haven't had anything. They only
the thing is, like, when you compare Splatoon now to when it launched, it's like a completely different game.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
They could do that with Mario Maker.
Yeah, I would love for them to just say, like, once a month, here's your pack. Here's some new enemies, here's some other stuff. They definitely left some stuff out of this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they did for a reason.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that
for more money.
I don't see that. That's where I'm saying I don't think that they're going to charge for all this stuff. Like, all the DLC that they've done so far, there's been some free stuff that they've given out. But even if they charged me for some of the stuff that we're asking for, I don't have a problem with that.
No,
I really don't.
Yeah.
I really don't. Because I feel like the game they gave us is an absolute complete game. But, and one thing I think, and this will go back to our previous topic, or the topic before this a little bit, was they need to put a search bar in there.
Yes.
Where I can just
not just level IDs.
Yes. Where I can just go in and I can search for Luigi levels, or Metroid levels, or Zelda levels. And it just brings up everything. That's a must.
If you could put like 3 tags to a level, and then that would appear in categories. You could have puzzle levels, you could have your water levels, and all the rest of it.
Or maybe I just want to play Super Mario Bros. 3. Yeah. And I put in SMB3, and it brings up everybody that built a level in that theme. That would be awesome. So that's it for our topics for today. At this point, we're going to move on to our wonderful game, Get Your Facts Straight. So for those that are joining us for the first time, basically what this is all parties bring 2 facts to the table. We read off those facts, and then the other 2 people need to determine whether that is true or false. We keep a tally, and the winner gets absolutely nothing. But still, it's all in good fun. So, Miguel, we're going to kick it off with you this week. What is your first fact of the week?
Okay. In Pikmin, the main character named Olimar is actually Japanese for Mario spelled backwards. I'll say it again. In Pikmin.
You don't need to say it again. I'm just like, what? I say false.
How about you, Toby?
It's funny because the letters are almost there. Like a lot of the letters in ALLAN are in Mario, so it's like I think that's made up. I think that's false.
It is actually true.
No.
Wow.
In Japanese, I said in Japanese. In
Yeah.
English, it's not exactly, but in Japanese, the characters, it's backwards. Mario, Olimar is backwards for Mario in Japanese.
Yeah,
That
actually,
is
I should have
true.
thought about that because a lot of like the Japanese words are like they're close, like
Hmm.
Yeah.
but different. So, damn it.
Stump you.
Toby, what do you got for your
All right, so in the video game Halo 2 and Halo 3,
Okay.
it's a random occurrence, but sometimes when you die, your character makes like a Mario type scream. So when you like every now and then they might go like Yahoo, like when Mario dies, it will be like Yahoo, it's just like that. But it's a very random effect that happens. That's only in Halo 2 and 3.
I played Halo 2 and 3 a lot, and there were times where I hear him, and you always hear the comment, "Oh," and I've heard when you use like a rocket launcher or something, and but I'm gonna have to say it's false.
Bobby,
Yeah, I'll say false as well.
it's true.
Oh my
There is
God.
a very rare occurrence that is inspired by Mario. When your character dies, he'll make a Yahoo noise. You can Google it, it's on YouTube, you'll find it.
Okay, so my first fact. Are you ready for this one? Shovel Knight. Yacht Club actually went broke in order to make Shovel Knight. They ran out of money. True or false?
Oh, false.
Miguel?
I'm gonna say you're saying that Yacht Club
Ran out of money. They went
after making.
no before. While making, not before, but while making in order to make Shovel Knight, they went absolutely broke.
You know what? I'm gonna say it's true because sometimes you put everything in it, and then all of a sudden here you have a successful game, and then you make your money back. So I'm gonna say it's true.
It is true.
God damn it.
They received $328,000 from Kickstarter. They estimated when they figured out how much it would cost to make the game. They figured it would cost $1.44 million in 2 years to make the game. About a month before their launch, or what they expected to be their original launch, they went broke. And they kept pushing through, and they operated for 5 months with no money at all. Nobody was getting paid. None of the employees got paid. Their credit cards were getting declined, all that stuff.
That's
And it was
a
like,
crazy expensive amount for a game like
Well,
that.
but when you have a passion for something
yeah.
and the creativity, yeah.
But
I
if you
agree.
look at that game, like yes, it looks like it's a no-brainer, but
I mean, it's very polished.
it's
but
very polished. The stuff that they did was just, and makes me wonder too. Like they must have made a boatload of money on this game for the fact of like they're giving free DLC. But this was all in the Kickstarter stuff. Like this was all like if you reach these tiers, these levels, we'll give you free stuff. But they did they went absolutely broke.
Wow.
Miguel, what is your next fact?
All right. Junior Pac-Man, an arcade game released by Bally Midway in 1983, was created without the authorization of Namco, which eventually led to the termination of licensing agreements between Namco and Bally Midway. Now, Namco, made Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, Baby Pac-Man. But the question is the release of Junior Pac-Man. Is that true or false?
I will say it's true.
Toby?
I'm gonna say it's true as well.
I think it's false.
I think it's false. I'm gonna say true.
Well, which one is it? You're saying, I think it's true, but I think it's
I'm
false.
going to say it's true because that was the first answer I gave. I'm going to stick to what it is.
How about you,
I'm
Toby?
just going to say false. I'm probably going to be completely wrong.
You're going to change it now?
Yeah.
You're really gonna change
Well, hey, this is good. The answer is true because
Oh, why is
Junior
it good?
Pac-Man was not designed by Namco. Bally Midway decided to release it without the authorization of Namco. That's why if you see, to this day, if you see all the Pac-Man games by Namco, you will not see a Junior Pac-Man. And to be honest, I love Junior Pac-Man, and I never seen an update or release of this game.
You sabotaged me there, Miguel.
You know what made me do it? Okay, so I said true, right? And then you said true. And then I looked at Miguel's face, and he got this weird look on his face.
Yes, that's what
and that's when I was like,
That's what I was like.
Because I know how Miguel is. Miguel likes to like really stick it to me when he can. But
So how many points have I got? 0.
you got 0. I've got 1.
good.
Miguel has 1. So, Toby, what is your next fact?
So Little Mac from the game Punch-Out, he was featured in another game on the GameCube, and that game is Fight Night Round 2.
You know, I heard something where Little Mac was featured somewhere else. But I don't think it's Little Mac. I think it's Mario.
I'm going to say true.
So
I'm gonna say false.
It's true. He is in Fight Night Round 2 on the GameCube as a playable character. And he looks really weird in it.
Yeah, I was looking at the characters.
Okay, so right now the score is me 2.
Rub it in.
Miguel 1. Toby 0.
Miguel, you've got to stand up against him. That's what I said now, so.
Okay, so in Japan, Mega Man was named Rockman. I think a lot of people know this.
Yes.
But the reason that he was named Rockman was one of the creators of Mega Man, or Rockman, Inafune, he was a big fan of rocks and had a huge rock garden at his home.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I think, you know what's funny? I heard something along the lines, but it wasn't because he loved rocks. It's because he liked rock and roll.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And that's why he had, like, you know, in the characters, he had rock, and then he had the one roll. So he was into music, so I'm going to say it's false.
Yeah, it's false.
It's false. It is false.
Okay,
so
I'm a Mega Man fan, so
the truth of it is Rockman, Japanese, name is a clear reference to music, along with blues, roll,
yes,
bass, forte, and many other musical names. It's also a reference to paper, rock, scissors.
Yes.
Where the way you
paper, rock, scissors, paper, scissors. Get the order right.
Same difference, whatever, man. In the United States,
that's why the game is not called Scissor Man.
Yeah, but that's where, you know, and in theory, like in paper, rock, scissors, we say paper, rock, scissors here.
Really? Is that true, Miguel?
No, it's rock, paper, scissors.
I say paper, rock, scissors. Whatever. It's all the same thing. Yeah, I have it written down here, rock, paper, scissors too, and I was like, whatever. But anyway, the whole theory of like you use one item to beat another thing, and it's the same thing as you know, rock, paper, scissors, where you know rock beats paper,
yes,
or rock beats scissors and all that stuff. So, so right now we're tied. Miguel and I are tied at 2. Toby, do you happen to have a tiebreaker question or no?
Yeah, I've got some more.
Just no Sonic stuff, please.
Oh, all right. Do you want a Sega fact or a Nintendo fact?
I say Nintendo. What do you say, Miguel?
I agree, Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo.
All right. So, in the United States, the NES was very square in its shape, very flat on top, and people used to rest their drinks on top of the NES because it's so flat. And so when Nintendo was designing the SNES, they made the top quite curvy with lots of like little bits on it. So there's no way you could rest a drink on top, so there wouldn't be any spillages.
True.
I would say the design was changed differently because when the NES was released in the United States, people had problems with the spring, like putting in the cartridges in the game and putting it down, and they had to make they had to finagle their way to make the game work in there, and also they did like that blowing into the game technique, and that was the problem, and people wish they could just slide the game on top rather than putting it in there. So I'm going to say, Toby, that's false.
It's actually true.
Ah!
That was one of the design factors because they didn't want people spilling and breaking their machine.
So that would mean that
Sorry,
I
Miguel.
am
That's
the
right. I was
winner.
thinking about the mechanics of it all.
Yeah, that was probably part of it as well, but it was definitely a factor.
Thank you. Thank you. That is all. Thank you guys for listening. If you are listening on SoundCloud, Stitcher, or iTunes, watching if you're checking us out on YouTube, you can follow myself. I am on Instagram and Twitter at the Geek Gurus. Miguel, where can they follow you at?
superknightarmor@gmail.com.
How many
Or you
followers
can follow
have you got?
and Twitter. I just started my Twitter. I only have 2. But
One of them was me.
yes, of course.
And one of them.
And yeah, so you can follow me at Twitter at superknightarm. So.
And you can follow Toby on Twitter at Toby's_take. Be sure to check out everything we're doing. I have the new series started, Stump the Guru, where I basically am taking different levels that people are sharing with me, and I'm playing them through, trying to do some commentary with it if I can. This week I got a little mixed up with my Elgato. It wasn't recording the voice section of it, so I had to go back and do post commentary, which kind of stunk. But still, it's a cool series, and it's going to be a lot of fun as we go on. It's crazy because as I put out more series, I'm getting more codes getting sent to me, which is fun. It's a mixture of trying to figure out where we're at. But you know something? Here's something that's really cool that Miguel shared with us in the beginning. Miguel, why don't you explain this whole thing you're going to do at the school?
Well, I'm going to have a program, after-school program, where I'm going to have students design games just as Miyamoto and others have done on graph paper. And once we design it on graph paper, we're going to put it on the video game Mario Maker. And I want the students to learn how it was, designing it before it came to fruition. But I think it's a great program. It's going to start from 4th grade to 8th grade. And I like to see the students' take on their designs. Maybe I also will do like a 2-team where people will work together.
Yeah.
And then come up with a game plan. And then once it's done, I'm going to release it. Maybe I'll release it to you guys and see your take on it and your critique. And then you could send that critique back to them so they could go, wow. Go ahead.
And I said this before, like I would love to play those levels and record them, and then that way you could show it to the students. Like, hey, here's someone playing your level, and this is what they did. This is how they played it, and this is the way to get. So thank you guys again. We really, truly appreciate it. We will see you guys next week. That is all. Peace, mother.
Bye.
Bye-bye.